invested into organizing stuff like this, which is so interesting. It gathers a lot of people interested in like English. This time it's gonna be English. Other times it's gonna be AI. Other times, I mean, this guy is just is an amazing guy.
Come on, how do you code that? The guy is
Yeah, it's
literally
really
doing my
fun.
presentation. That's crazy. Nobody ever did that before. All right, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
Yeah,
LSM, hope
man,
you're
you
doing great.
deserve it.
Long time no
Yeah.
see.
yeah, long time no see. I was a bit disappeared, but I'm here tonight.
Okay, great to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Wederago, hello, hope you're doing great. Welcome to the discussion. So, I don't know. Um, So I guess we will start very quickly because like most guys don't come not regularly, also not on time. So anyway, and it doesn't matter if they will cut up like on the way of discussion and that's it. So hello everyone again. Thank you so much for coming and for joining this English discussion. So usually we basically every Thursday night, been like almost eight months now, like we do English discussion. So basically, the goal is to encourage English speaking and help each other. Like most guys are struggling with English, or they have like a good enough English I mean skills, but they still need to improve. Even for guys like me, like even if I'm quite good at it, but sometimes like if you spend most of the time without being I don't know, in an environment where like English is currently spoken, you happen to you tend to lose your proficiency or whatever. So the goal is just to create a space or an environment where we gather together, discuss about stuff, all type of thing, right? From marriages to AI, as Mr. Kone said, to technologies, to computer, to everything, to money, to life, to success, to whatever. So the discussion is just around multiple topics, and the goal is just to not only encourage English speaking, but encourage sharing experience, sharing communication, as well as create friendship and like social energy among us. So basically, that's the goal. And today we will continue as well. So Thursday night we had the first part of this discussion. So we are basically talking about technology in general, right? So what is technology? Where does it come from? What are the different domain of application? Where are we now in terms of technology, and maybe where are we going in the future? Because I had made some observation, especially in general in public. Like most of the time when you say technology, people directly think about computer or even internet or smartphone or something like that, right? But like like forwardly speaking, like technology goes well beyond all that, right? So that's one of the biggest motivation of also this show. We want to make sure that at least people don't get confused about when we say technology, it's not just computer or internet, especially for some even tech guys. But most of the time, they think about technology as just computer. So basically, that's the goal. And before we also continue, I would like to introduce Mr. Kone. He's like a big brother. He's also like a grandmaster of basically everything, from I don't know, like from electrician to the 10x software engineer. So he basically do everything, right? And I learn a lot from him. And I meet him at Donny Fab, I guess, with Mr. Sal also another great guy. I think like Mali need more guy like this guy, because like if we have a lot of people like them, I guess we will they will help us build a great country and a better community. So Mr. Kone, welcome, and all the other guys, Mohamed, Alassane, welcome to the show, and we will continue. In case Kone would like to share a few words before we continue the discussion.
Well, thank you, Mr. Koulibaly. Thanks a lot for the introduction. I am a very modest person. That was a lot for me. I'm
Come
just a
on.
learner. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do my best, trying to keep track of what it is that I'm doing. Honestly, I don't have much to say. You've said it all already. I am just grateful of being here with you guys, learning from you and sharing a little bit of things that I know. And I hope we're gonna have a great session. We're gonna have a great time together. And yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you, sir.
All right. That's wonderful. We're really excited to have you here also. Okay, Mohammed or Alassane or Mr. Sise, in case you want to share a few words before we start. Okay, seems like there is not enough news to share. But anyone here has have attended the I don't know Semaine Numérique, the Digital Week of Mali? Anyone? Maybe Cisse or I don't know Alassane? Probably not Mohammed, right?
Hello, guys.
Excuse me, can you repeat? I was
Yes.
breaking off.
Okay, I said, has any of you attended, like participated in the Semaine Numérique, Digital Week of Mali? I don't know, in case anyone attended.
Oh, not me. I know today it should start it, but today I had class, so I couldn't go there.
Ah,
But
all right.
tomorrow I will try to go there. Yeah,
Okay, that's great. Okay, maybe next session you will share with us what you learn or what you see and what it means, right?
yeah, no problem.
Okay, wonderful. Mr. Sisi, how about you? Have you been there
Oh, no, but unfortunately, not. But the thing is, I've been learning the thing today. That,
today? Hi.
yes,
Okay.
but tomorrow I have to go for the training. And
Okay.
maybe I will come back with something new
Sure. Okay. That will be great. That will be
tomorrow.
great.
Okay?
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Now, if Ban is here, maybe Ban can share with us what he's been learning about.
Do you think Bani is here?
But I don't know, Ban is here. I don't know.
No, he's not here. I guess I saw him physically, but he's not in the on the call.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
you, Musa, you were there.
No. I was not there. Like, I can
So
only go
you also
there
you didn't
on the
have time
weekend.
to.
So like maybe on the last day on Saturday
Yeah,
I will be there in the afternoon, because I
yeah,
had in the morning I had like an AI talk to make, but I don't know if that will happen. Otherwise, I will go in the morning. Maybe we will meet there. Maybe.
yeah. Okay, no problem.
All right. Okay. That's wonderful. So let's jump in quickly. So
Ahmed,
last Thursday we discussed about what is technology. Basically, that was the greatest question, and we talk about short stories about technologies, like from I don't know, from the Stone Ages to like whatever, to the steam engine to now our computers and the like uh, the mega corp or the big industries and so on. We also talk about, I guess, if I have good memory, someone can remind me, right? We talk about science and research. So the benefit of technology and the impact of science and research on technology, or in other words, you can say the relationship between science and technology. So I guess that was the last point, if I have good memory. So we should be starting today on the industry side, right? And we will move on to to application and other topic. So basically, the way the discussion used to happen, this is for Mr. Kone and other guys, is I just have some standard question to help us like organize or structure the discussion, but there is really no fixed standard. It's basically an open discussion, so anyone can come with any other question or any other topic we will be related to the main topic here. And also it's really open talk and open discussion, so there is really no fixed standard that we should follow. So that's what it is. All right. So quickly, question number three. But I don't know. Maybe before we move on to question number three, either Mr. Kone or Alassane, maybe you were not here last time. If you would like to give us your view or your thoughts on technology, according to you, what is technology basically?
Okay, maybe I will speak before Mohammed
Yeah,
because
sure.
if Mohammed if he starts speaking, it will be a bit difficult for me to
All right.
to go after him.
Okay, let's go.
So, according to me, technology is like some tools or method that the science give to us, and we use it to solve problems. I think basically is that. So it's like the contribution of the science. If you learn the science, so have some tools, and we can use those tools to have some solution about some problems in our society. So that's what I think about.
All right. That's great. So basically, science giving us tools to live in our society. That's right. That's right. Okay. So Mr. Kone, to you. All right.
All right, thanks, Mr. Kuliveli. Well, I totally agree with what my brother Alassane just said. I believe technology is, let's say, the practical use of knowledge. Anytime we use knowledge to profit the living, to profit humanity, we're doing technology. So um, technology is basically not the product. The product is basically the result of technology, but technology is like the idea that builds the product. So if you go back, you have already mentioned the Stone Age. That's a long time ago, and indeed they had technology because they used to hunt. So that hunting, how do they call that? Maybe somebody can help me, but the tools that they would use for
The
hunting,
spear.
yeah, the spear. The spear, you need some knowledge to neaten it, to make it sharp, to make it useful for you to kill an animal. That's technology right there. And you have technology when you you know you build yourself a glove, whatever tools that you have, basically anything that that needs your knowledge to be put in a useful way is what I call a technology. So it doesn't need to be internet, doesn't need to be phone, doesn't need to be AI. All of these are technologies or products of technology, but in itself, I believe it's the knowledge here, putting the knowledge in a practical use to ease life for everybody. I guess I would call it.
That's really wonderful, and also it's relieving for me because like most of the time I'm the one like giving this kind of definition or this kind of idea, and it sounds too weird. I guess last time I said even like the clothes you wear, even the shoes you are wearing is basically either a technology or a result of technology. So sometimes I know that it's right, but like I'm telling to people that this is the first time they hear that clothes is like your clothes is the technology. So it sounds, I happen to sound weird, right? But if there is someone else that is that is advancing the same argument, it's relieving for me. So that's really wonderful. That's how I will also say it. So that's great. All right. Okay. Now, Traore, you see, right? I was right. I was not weird, right? Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next point. Okay. So now today we're talking about industry. Okay. So basically, the discussion will be just on industry, but the question it can really be open ended, so you can give your idea. What do you think is industry, and what also is the impact of industry in our society, like the industry and industrial processes, and what is the impact of it on our society? Because like from the previous discussion, we said. I will also based from what Mr. Kone said, it's set of knowledge and uh, BI also added the tools and processes, right? To me, it's also knowledge, but plus tools and processes, plus all the other conventional ways of doing things in order to get to like a better result for like achieving an end goal. So that's basically that how I call it. And like when you look at industries, it's full of people meaning knowledge, right? And tools and processes and all the standards and rules you should follow and best practices so that at the end of the day or at the end of the work you can get to, I don't know, a product or a service that will be useful for the society. So basically, that is the whole industrial processes or all the industry stuff. So according to you, what is industry and what is the impact of industry on our social life or economic life, if you want? So this is an open-ended question. Mr. Kone, would you like to take that
Yes,
one?
sir. I guess I'll go for
Yeah, sure.
it.
Let's go.
um, well, it's quite interesting. Industry is such a vague word. I'm really trying to wrap my mind around this thing and come up with something that makes sense, right? So I guess it would be the a set of um, machinery governed by rules and you know I recall that that terminology is running away from me. But then you have factories, you have rules in the making of stuff. You have interconnection of different kind of factories. For example, to make one car, you can have maybe five or more factories coming together.
Absolutely.
So one can build the wheel, the other one can build the rail, the other one can build the glass, the windshield. The other one can build maybe the motor. So it's really a symphony, a synchronization of a lot of applied knowledge that we can call technology coming together in a way that it's uniform and that produces some end product that you and I can use on a daily basis. So I can't really put it into one sentence, but I think it's all that together. That set of things coming together, working in sync. That gives you that thing called industry. That's so called. Yeah, that's what really running through my mind right now.
All right, all right. That's a wonderful storm of thought, right? So, so like as you said, it's the world symphony, the whole synchronization of all these complex processes instead of machines and peoples and knowledge, that's made together to produce something that is useful for each of us on our daily basis. So that's really wonderful. All right. Any question for Mr. Kone or anyone want to give his idea on this question again? Industry. What is industry and what is the impact of industry on our societies? Mr. Kone, Boubacar, or Alassane, or CDP? Can you guys hear me? Boubacar, would you like to say something? Okay,
I
Cedric, go
want to
ahead.
go
Sure.
add something.
Yeah, sure.
I want to add something, but I'm going home and I
Oh,
can speak well.
okay, okay. We can hear the sound of the winds. All right. Okay, feel free. Anytime you are available, you can join. Okay, Mr. Cisse, are you here? Alassane, would you like to give your idea on industry? Or have you written something? I don't know. Maybe you can also write, but it's recommended that you speak, right? Because basically we are here to speak. Okay, maybe the silence mean that mean that there is no answer. But anyway, okay. So
Well,
I guess yes, Mr. Kone, go ahead.
yeah, I'm just coming from the for the second part, the impact
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
on society. Man, I guess it revolutionizes society, and I would say in both ways, in a good and a bad way. Because for everything, we have the benefits that we can derive from it, and we also have drawbacks that are linked to it. So the industry per se have really improved. Like we could say, have improved our life in terms of making things easier to get done. If you gotta travel, I guess you can travel faster right now with the industry because planes. The image on here on your presentation is just inspiring me because a plane is really one of the um, uh, testimonies of what technology or industry can do for us in terms of easing our life. So a plane can prevent you from um, taking a 40-day trip going to some place. It can shorten it to few hours. You know, that's one thing that's good. It makes life easier for you. Or other things like cars, other things like computers, other things like cameras and stuff for your surveillance to have some kind of proof whenever something happens. All of this is good, but on the other side, it also makes us, I like to say, lazy. If that's good or if that's correct, it
Okay.
also at some point it takes from us that something that I call that maybe the human factor, if that's correct. I mean to say that by us having things get done the easy way, we start to we start to kind of decay in terms of you know a human being. Like I'm telling this, I'm thinking about our grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents. They used to be stronger, much stronger than we are today, because they would they would walk long distances. They would be on horsebacks, on donkey backs. All of this requires you to be fit, and they would grow their own food. So you would have to, go to the farm and stuff like that. That'll keep you alive, keep you in a good shape without going to the gym. You see, the gym is like a product of one of the consequences, if I want to say, of industrial revolution, because we don't have time for the natural things we used to do. Now we need to compensate because our body needs it anyway. If you don't do it, you'll be obese or you catch a weird diseases and stuff. So we have to occupy ourselves, then we're gonna go to the gym, right? So the impact is I can't. The list is just ongoing. I can't say it all, but just to put it in a nutshell, it's like it's done a lot of good things, and we're grateful for that. But I guess it brings a lot more damage. Think about the bombs, think about the missiles, think about the guns, the rifles. right? Think about, I mean, all of that. And industry is nice, but it has some dark sides to it that I'm even scared of. And I really like the subject right there because I've been thinking for a long time. How is it that we can, you only have the positive side of industry of technology in general, and how to mitigate that dark side? How we gonna deal with this? It's a real thing. It's a serious thing. The nuclear bomb stuff going on. We don't want that to happen. And all of this is industries building it. So the impact is on both sides. But I would say it's much more damage at this point that we are. It's much more damage than benefit to it.
All right. That's really wonderful. I think that's a very like valuable insight added to the application side of technology. I don't know if anyone want to ask either a question or give I don't know his viewpoint on what Mr. Kone just said, because me, I have a slightly different viewpoint of this most of the statement Mr. Kone made. I guess most are grounded and like, but it depends on your how we view things or how we like. I don't know, evaluate things, but I have a slightly different viewpoint. But in case anyone have anything different or anything additional to add, yes, Mr. Cisse.
Okay, hello everyone. And just, I think I'm gonna just say a little bit. But for me, just the industry, Mr. Momodu saying, it's well. Let's just take example on the seal side. I don't know if you can understand it. The seal, la cellule. It's something like it is all working together, but the end point is to create something really beautiful. Now, they've got a people who have to work. They've got the machine parts who are doing the job too. They've got the software part too. So there are a lot of things at the same time in order to build something big. But about the impact side, I may kind of be not agree with what Mr. Mahamadou said. I think it's only depend on the human being. Then you see just like the outcome and what you got inside. So I don't know if the moderator remember this thing. I've been this not the first time that I've been saying this. Just all those things that we got in life, just a tool. They only depend on human being in the way we're using it. So the point is not to accuse the industry himself or itself, rather itself, not but the human being, because we're the one who are making it. We're the one who are kind of building it. We're the one, so we're making it in the use because those things cannot do anything by themselves. Just by saying that nowadays, Mr. Mamadou said, the nuclear bomb. Yes, we're the one we're building it, but in the same time, we're the one we're losing it. I don't know, maybe to make Holocaust. I don't know, maybe to kill other people, our fellow men. So the end point is just the human being. That's something I kind of we're kind of defeating this part of a human being. Just seeing the industry. You know something that if you wanna really talking about the industry, I think the mostly part we have to be judged is the human being himself. So that was a little bit I just wanna add about what Mr. Muhammad said.
So, all right. So, Mr. Cisse, that was a great additional argument and point to this question. I think this is fairly clear right now, and maybe Mr. Kone missed some part of it, but I guess your point is a very additional and very important also, I guess. Mr. Alessandro, would you like to add something?
Yeah, for my case, I agree with Mr. Mahamadou,
Okay.
but just I would like to add something. I think even if there are some damage than benefit, I think it's normal. It is like it's like in the law of the nature. Even if we go back in the past and to take example of the past people, we see even without the emerging of the technology, there was this kind of damage. Like at the time we were trying to make even the fire to help people. And at that time also we were trying to make the swarm to kill the animals. And that swarm could be also used against us. So I think at every degree, if we are just building some new tools, automatically there will be some tools also which will be against us. It's like every time if we are trying to to do the good things, there will be also the bad things. So it's my fault. I think it's normally, and we have just to take some restriction about that and try to stop uh, to place some boundaries about those bad things. I think it's only the solution. All the time there will be some problem. It's not avoidable. I mean, so is that
All right, Alison. Thank you so much for this valuable insight. As you said, it's not just directly technology. And it's also not even today, and it dates back to since the beginning of humanity, right? It's maybe encoded into our DNA, right? And maybe, as you also said, if we can like find a way to like mitigate the bad stuff and find a way to have multiple good stuff that will be good for the society. All right. So I don't know if anyone has anything to add to this. Otherwise, I will go straight. So to me, I think I have a slightly different viewpoint, as I said, but I think 90% we are like on the same wavelength on this point. Um, uh, by definition also of the industry, I guess I've already said it as Mr. Kone said. So for the application, so I guess the impact of industry on our society is I don't know how you will classify it, or I don't know how you will even identify it, or I don't also know if you can even think about at least economic nowadays, like without talking about industry, and you can trace back up to like I don't know, 8,000 years, even 10,000 years if you want, right? As we talk about Stone Age, stone being the technology or a technology of its time, the spears or the other stuff they were making with rocks and woods, all of those stuff being technologies, like we wouldn't be here today if probably it was not those stuff. And as Alassane also pointed out about fire, right? To me, I guess fire is the ultimate technology human being has ever created. I guess it was actually I would say, the epoch, right? The big bang of all these tools and other stuff, because like it led to every other thing we have as human. If we didn't have fire, I guess we will be like on the same range as the monkeys in the forest, taking fruit from trees to like I don't know, to feed ourselves and like running around animals and stuff, right? So I guess fire was like the beginning, or at least contributed to most of all the stuff we have. So if you look at from that end, you will say that okay, so at the end we will not even have life without technology, or at least human civilization without technology, right? So basically, I guess it's touched to everything that is not natural, that is not natural. I guess every other good we have that nature didn't directly made is actually somewhere the result of technology, right? Or in itself a technology. So now talking about the good and bad of it, I guess I tend to classify technology, or I tend to declassify it as something related to good or bad. I think technology live in its own space or in its own universe, different than good and bad. And maybe we, the human, happen to like find a way to either justify or to identify something as being good or bad on the first place, right? Because like when you look at it, as we define technology, it's basically like knowledge in the first place, right? And tools and processes and standards to make things. But I guess technology is something like, okay, I'm the ultimate question like answerer, right? Much like we have the chat GPT, for example, like for sure, like after the pre-training, they tend to set some guardrail to like prevent it from saying some bad stuff or some like a tragic event that may like trigger some, I don't know, like emotional or negative emotion among society. But like when you train the model from scratch, like it doesn't care whether its response is good or bad. Technology is also the same thing, I guess. Like there is no concepts of good and bad in terms of technology or the result of technology, which is the work of industry, right? Because in the first place, we the human are the one making those things, right? And why are we making them? We are making them to like a response to a need that we human have. What can be those needs? It can be everything, ranging from creating these clothes to designing or manufacturing this computer to all the other stuff. It can also be manufacturing a weapon, right? A nuclear bomb, right? A nuke, right? It can be whatever. And why do we do that? Because we need them. Okay, why we need them? I don't know. That's that's human. We are human. We have needs, right? And we want to answer to those needs, right? So I think me, I tend to see now nature as an ultimate machine that adjusts or optimizes itself, right? Nature selects for itself what is like it selects the balance between good and bad. Maybe I will even say that we human we are not just select we are not selecting those things. We just happen to feel about them, but we are the doer, but we are not like the selectioner of those things. I guess nature's is the ultimate responsible for all this, and nature adjusts itself. Let's think about from an animal standpoint, right? So let's say a lion run quickly to catch a gazelle, right? So if you were the gazelle, what would you say about the action of the lion? Probably not a good thing, right? Okay, now let's say you are now the lion, right? What do you think about this? This is actually wonderful, right? From the lion standpoint, because like it is the survival. The lion needs this, right? So the same thing also for the weapon or for the nuclear bomb, right? The guy or the country launching or like responsible for doing that, they feel strong, they feel wonderful, they feel powerful, right? They feel the like most dominant countries on the face of the earth. So this is their goal, right? And in case they happen to do it, we will say, okay, their goal are made. But if you are the target, I think this is this is probably the end of the world for you, right? It's really not a good thing. So like it's happened to be the balance between those things, and we happen to feel about it. But I think this is just the work of nature. Nature will adjust itself. Maybe bombing someone may not necessarily a good thing if you were that person, or if you identify yourself as the next potential target. It's not probably good for you, right? But if you are the, I don't know, the originator, right? Maybe it's a good thing for you because it will protect you, it will give you power, and it also contribute to making, I don't know, your world a better place. Maybe the world of other guy will be like the hell, right? So I guess it is something like this, and I think we don't need to worry too much about this. We can just continue to do like uh, what is necessary for us, whether being it good or bad. Because I think good or bad is just subjective, right? Something may be good to you, but to me it's bad, and vice versa. So that's how I kind of view it. So in terms of technology, it's really neutral in that sense. But what we do with it is the ultimate question that maybe we should, as human, sit around the table and talk about it and like get to like a common goal or common ground, and then like continue to push this human civilization forward. So that's how I kind of view it. Okay, if anyone has a question or an additional argument to this.
I do want to come up. I do want to come up with maybe a little bit of question.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you make perfect sense, in that speech right there. But I just I've been having this conversation for a while because it really take you back to the question. Like you're gonna question God of what's really going down here. What like what's the purpose of of life? Because ultimately, I like to view things. I like to view things in a utopia kind of thing, kind of setup. Because for me, life is not meant to be fighting each other or killing each other or dominating each other. It's meant to be harmonious. Okay, I'm not saying that what I'm saying here is what should be, or that's just my point of view of life in general. That's how I feel about life. I try to make harmony. I try to to reconcile things, to have peace in one word. So coming back to the nuclear stuff, to the technology itself, there's a difference when you have a spear to kill an animal to feed yourself, and a nuclear bomb that can literally wipe out half of the population of the planet. I mean, why would you like? Why? What kind of need is it to wipe out half the population of the planet just by one bomb? So I believe somewhere these nations will tell you, okay, we want to protect ourselves. It's a dissuasion tool, that we use to protect ourselves and to make other nations respect us, or other nations afraid of us in case they want to attack us. They know we have something, which is legit. That's legit. They want to protect themselves. But to me, why did we even get to that point? Because I'm pretty sure at the beginning it wasn't anything near that. We if I like I said, going back to if you had a question God, I'm pretty sure God would tell you, I didn't create you to come down here and kill each other and bomb each other and stuff. It would be, I want you to live, in a harmonious way. I want you to have peace among different nations, among brothers, among family members, stuff like that. So the world is far from that reality that I'm talking about. That's almost a dream that I'm saying, but I still believe in that. I still believe that all these weapons of mass destruction, as we like to call them, and they really are mass destruction. We don't need them. We should come back to our own nature and live in peace. We don't need to have these things around, because I mean, if it's not going down in your country, we don't know about it. But if you ask Ukraine now, or if you ask what happened to Sudan, if you ask them, or if you ask whoever of these countries that are really going down, and even us with the jihadis and stuff, it's quite not good, and it's really of no use. Even though those who are using it or those who are doing it will always have something to come up with to justify themselves, but it doesn't mean it's right. Because I can, like at the end of the day, I can do anything I want, and I can give you 1,000 reasons for it just to not feel bad, but it doesn't make it right. So ultimately, I really wish, I really, really wish that all this barbaric mindset of building nuclear bomb and stuff, bombing each other, dominating each other, that we stop this and they just live in peace. As we really aspire for peace as a human being. We what we aspire to is peace. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
have a bad day, a single day, not let alone a whole life spoiled. But you don't want your day to be spoiled.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to make this long, but honestly, you guys are right. Like if you look at the world how it is right now, yeah, that's what it is. That's the reality. But does it have to be that way? Certainly not. And I wish one day, we all realize that hey, this is of no use. We as a planet, we need to evolve. We need to do other things, and apart from trying to destroy each other, which is of no use for none of us. Yeah, I'm sad about the state of the world today. To be honest with you guys, I'm really sad about what's going on in the world today, and I wish it could change.
So, all right, all right. That's
But besides you, besides you guys, right?
I guess this should be, I don't know, we should give you a stand, I don't know, at Oni or somewhere for a peace talk, and then we can. This would be a wonderful talk about peace and about, I don't know, humanity or love or something like this, right? So that's, I guess you also raised a lot of important questions there, especially why did God created us, and what is the meaning of all of this, and why is that? Why do we do this or that to each other? Yes, I guess I think you also clearly like let it. I mean, point it out about this is what you wish, this is what you believe, and this is what you feel, right? And or maybe this is what you view things, right? But I guess it's like wish, feel, or like I don't know, believe. I guess this is just different way of viewing the world, right? This is just a different framework of viewing the world, but it's not what things really are. I think at least the way I kind of, I also have wish, right? I have belief, I have feeling, for sure. I'm human, right? You cannot like I don't know, you cannot deny that, right? We cannot deny that. But I guess one of my framework, or one of the most important framework I happen to now use to view the world is like through truth and reality, right? Basically, by truth, I mean like not what I want, but what really things are, or how things are really happening. Different from what I wish, or what I would like things to be, right? I think this is how reality works. Reality doesn't care about. I think reality has nothing to do with good or bad, right? We human, we have feelings, we have wish, we have belief, we have everything related to all this stuff, and we love each other. We are fragile also, fair to say, right? So that's how we have like good or bad, or like all the other stuff. But I guess like reality or nature is really, really far from that. It's not even in the same domain. And talking about peace, I guess I would like to ask you a question. Like, when the last 100 years, or the last 50 years, when you take that and compare to, I don't know, last 2,000 or last 10,000 years, do you think now we have more wars and conflicts and stuff compared to the past, or is it the opposite?
Hmm. Well, it's that's hard, but I would say right now we have a lot more going on. It's
Okay.
not the world war, but it's not far from that. I think we're just not calling it a world war,
Okay.
but it's already there. We already like there are a few countries right now that don't have problems.
Okay.
Many like few of them don't have problems. If you don't have terrorists in your territory, you have a problem with your neighboring country, or you're supporting a country fighting another country, so you are indirectly involved into some war. So it's pretty much worse now.
Okay. So you would say that like Now, when compared to the history like 100 years ago or like 1,000 years ago, we have like a lot of things going on compared to the past, right? I think maybe that's what
Yeah,
most
I
people.
mean, if
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to add up things from the past, at some point it's gonna exceed what's going on right now because that's really concentrated. We're just right now it's concentrated, limited, but the past is wide open. But in terms of destruction, honestly, we have a lot of things going on right now. You have weapons that didn't exist before. You have biological warfare,
So like
pandemics,
you
which are
mean
kind of
exist or is happening? Would you like to say exist or
it's
is
happening.
happening? It's happening.
Now I'm saying right now we have biological warfare, for example,
Okay. Happening.
which like to call it pandemics, but
Okay.
we came to realize it's just stuff that we built for some other purposes that they can justify. So right now it's harsh, it's worse, I guess.
Okay, okay, but me, I have a different viewpoint on this. Also, I think when you look at the data and you look back in the issue, maybe like 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, like I think like humanity has been going on like on war over war like anytime throughout history. Like when you look at the data, you will only see that maybe only 10% or 5% of the time there was no wars and was like complete peace, and all the 90 or 95% was just like continuous wars and continuous devastation and all kind of tragedy and misery and all these like pandemics and other stuff that you are talking about. I think like we are as like we are all human, right? Most of the time you experience the world according to what you have now or what are you are surrounded by. And sometimes we tend to forget about where we come from or what happened in the past. Maybe like it's too much to think about what happened 1,000 years ago or maybe 10,000 years ago. But when you look at it, you will see that like compared to now, at least I guess we have more peace now. And I think it's much like the same thing we said in our even in society. When you do 100 things, 100 good things, people will say good. But when you do 99 good and one bad, they will say that you are what? You are bad. You are a bad person. You're not doing good thing, right? I think it all came down to this, right? You have like 100 or like 150 other countries that are living in like peace or stability or economic growth and prosperity. Maybe you have 10 or 20 countries that are having like trouble security stuff, and we happen to disqualify all the other 100 or 120 countries, and we will just say, oh, the world is all like Iran stuff or Israel stuff or Venezuela stuff or whatever other stuff that is happening maybe here in Mali, and we tend to forget about all of it in general. So I think it's also part of our human nature. We are negative driven, right? If tens of thousands of good things happen and only one bad thing happen, we tend to forget about all the good things, right? It's also fair to say because only one bad thing can destroy all the thousand good things. That's also real. But I think now we have a more peaceful world, a more stable world compared to the past, and it's never going to be real. It's never going to be. We are not living in paradise or in like a utopian universe, as you're saying, right? This is reality. This is the real world, right? Things happen. There is friction all the times. We are like struggling with each other. We are like trying to attack each other from west to east. But I guess when you add it up, I think we have far more peace and prosperity now compared to the past. So that's how I kind of view things. Maybe you can say that in terms of scale of destruction, in terms of potential of destruction, we have maybe more capability now, right? But I think the opposite is also true. We have also more capability to counter, I mean, to mitigate those danger also, and also those big scale stuff are also not happening, right? How like in the past 10 years, how many countries like I don't know, launched like a nuclear weapon to of like for if a broader scale to for a destruction. I, I I I didn't hear of it. Maybe I don't know it. So it exists for sure, but I don't think that it's that's alarming. Maybe we should not also dismiss it. We should definitely think about it. Maybe we should also take kind of measure for it, but for them. But I think like the world will continue to adjust itself for a long time. We'll never have complete peace, but I think things are going to continuously be good in general. That's how I kind of view things. But people can have different viewpoint.
Yeah,
That's
well,
completely,
that's wonderful.
completely legal. Okay.
That's wonderful. Like I'm glad to learn from you that in history, as a comparison, that we are living in utopia now. And honestly, I didn't know that. I don't know much
Yes,
about
you can
history.
Google it and
I
then you
mean, in
will
the
see
sense
like
of studying the
yeah,
world. No, no, no. I trust you. I trust you. I
yeah,
know
yeah,
you wouldn't say anything that you're not sure of.
yeah,
So
sure,
that saves me the time of going and digging. I might, watch some
sure,
documentaries, but
yeah,
I trust you.
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that, and that's good. That's good to know. But you mentioned something very important around the end of your innovation when you talked about the potential of distraction. That's one big thing. Like right now, if it goes up, it's gonna go up. Like
Do you think
it's gonna
it's
go
going
really,
to
really
go
up.
up?
No,
No,
you
none
don't
of
want
us,
that.
none of us. They either the originator country or
You
the
don't want that.
destinatories
You have
will benefit from it. There is a game theory at play. That's something you should think about. I think probably these things never going to happen. At least not at big scale as we all fear about. Maybe at small scale it will happen. I think
yep,
maybe it's already happening,
yep, yep.
but on a big scale, I think we are not going to have that at least for the next 100 years to come. So maybe even before talking about
Well,
the
the
war
thing
stuff,
it's
maybe the
tricky.
AIs are going to like create us or the issue that will
And
make
there's
us
another
forget
that's
about
a that's
all
a
this stuff.
whole yeah, yeah, but that's a whole other thing to
Yes,
care to
sure,
worry about
sure,
AI
sure, sure,
and
sure. I think
because
we will
AI
never
is
have a
becoming
world
different.
where there is
We
no
have AI
worry.
bots now.
We will
Like,
continuously
so
have worries
bots
all the
actually
time.
get
Yeah.
more. That's another. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's another thing coming up
Yes.
if it's already not there.
So that's nature.
But the
Like
thing is, you never know. You never know when it's gonna go off.
yeah,
It keeps like this.
yeah, yeah.
Tension rises
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
drops. Tension
yes.
rises,
It
but
adjusts.
you never know when it's
Adjusts
gonna
itself.
hit.
It's going to adjust itself, I guess. Nature is going to do that for us.
What? Yeah, I see you're positive about it, and I like that because I believe deep down human beings are not. We're not destruct like destroyers. We're not. Maybe conditions make us act in a certain way. I would trust that I would. That's right. But ultimately, we're not destroyers, and I believe at some point we're gonna come down and have some kind of peace at
Yeah.
least.
Yes.
But all these things around, you never know when it's gonna go off. That's the problem.
Yeah. So I think
So
that's good.
living
Yeah.
in yeah, but in general, like I said, I'm really glad to learn that okay, the worst has passed. That we're not living in some kind of utopia, even though it doesn't look like it. But still good.
It does. I think sometimes it's a little bit hard to like dissociate good from bad. I think I think sometimes good doesn't make any sense without bad. I think right. So I think it's much like the two pole of a magnet, right? The north pole and the south pole. You can never separate them, right? So I think good. I think of good and bad in this way, right? All like every time you're going to have good,
Yes,
and all the time you're
theory.
also going to have bad,
It's sort
right?
of
They coexist together, and one give meaning to it
yeah,
to the other, right? I think life would not make sense without death, right? So basically, that's how I kind of
yeah.
say things. So
That's true. It's a very wise and it's a nice way to put it, but in practical, because when the hardship hits, you don't really, we still have that in mind, but we don't really, you know, it's like it's too much. When it hits, we forget about that. You know what I mean? It's too much actually, but it's true. Thank you a lot. I thank all of you guys, Alassane, Ibrahim, Mohammed, all of the other ones. Thank you a lot. You have a good one, a great discussion. I'll
All
see
right.
you next
Thank you so
time.
much. See you next time. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, see ya. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, bye. All right, guys. I don't know if you have enough energy. Maybe we can continue for 10 or 20 minutes. Otherwise, we can stop here. Maybe we kind of like make a duo discussion and like kick you other guys out. But sorry for that. Maybe he was a new guest, so sometimes you have to take care of new guests, right? Okay, if you have enough energy, maybe we can continue to talk about the last point on maybe for 10 or 20 minutes and we will stop. Or we can stop here and like see each other next time. What do you think?
Mm, for my case, we can continue.
We can
He made
continue.
it even
Okay,
to midnight. So,
okay.
Yeah, no problem in my side also.
Okay, all right. So maybe this is the application part. I think we already talked about the application in some points, but I don't know if you want to add something to the application of technology. It's worldwide. It's everything in what we have, modern life at least. But if you want to add something to the application part, otherwise we can directly go to the next point, which is the digital and the non-digital technology. All right. So, application in general. Would you like to add something?
there you have it. Sign already.
Excuse me, Mr. Cisse?
Yeah.
Alassane, would you like to add something to the application part, or we can just directly go to the next question?
I think we can directly go to the next question. That
Okay.
part was really clear by your discussion with Mahamadou.
Okay.
I really learned a lot with
Okay.
that. So
Okay. All right.
we can just
Okay. All right. So let's now talk about digital. Or maybe we can combine them, or we can separate. But so digital and non-digital technology, because as I said, most of the time, especially in our modern world, when we say tech or technology, it's directly computer or bits or internet or phones or videos or softwares or all the other related uh, digital stuff, and we tend to forget about the other things. It's also I don't know. It's also fair to say it because like the most dominant technology we have nowadays is digitals. For example, how are we like having this discussion? Exactly because of digital technology, right? So it makes sense for people to like I don't know, like summarize or like define the entire technology landscape as just digital. But what is your viewpoint on it? So what is non-digital technology according to you?
okay. According to me, about the not digital technology, I think it's like some primary materials that we make, like the hammer, and I think it is the cutter, some stuff like that. Just we can do that without with technology, without programming some machine to build those tools. We can just make those tools manually by our hands, and I think it's that for the not digital technology.
Okay, that's great.
Because that numeric,
Yes, continue, Mr. So.
yeah, I was just adding because that those are not numeric.
Okay. And not digital, not discrete, right? It's not number, just not just based on information inside like a computer brain or something. Okay, that's really wonderful. Mr. Cisse, would you like to give your idea on non-digital technology?
Okay, I'm really sorry for that. I was not following the discussion.
Okay.
Just sorry, but the non-digital technology. Can you enlighten me about the thing because I don't have much idea on
All right,
this.
all right. So I said when in general, most of the time when you say technology, people tend to directly think about it as a computer or internet or phones or software, WhatsApp, TikTok, whatever, right? Google stuff, right? So I said, so this is normal because, for example, why we're having this discussion, or I don't know, I don't not why. How are we having this call because of digital technology, right? It's also because they are the most dominant one of our era, right? Maybe the last century or the last half of the century, and probably going to be in the next of 10 or next decade to come. So it makes sense for people to classify or identify technology as purely digital. But as even these discussions taught us, right? So technology is not just computer stuff, right? So that's what we mean by discussion. So what do you think? What according to you, what is a non-digital technology? If you can give some example, or what do you think about it? Or I don't know if this is also the first time you hear about there is a technology which is non-digital. Maybe you should also talk about it. And
Okay, no. So, but like you guys said previously, this only just we've been changing with the time. Just for the time being in the pre-historical time, the man used to I don't know the name. I forgot the stone.
yeah,
They used the stone. Just the technology, like the definition. I've been skipping the part for the last session. They just a scientific way, maybe to solve problems. So no matter it is digital or not, the core points is just to solve problem. Maybe it can be digital. So at the time being, at the maybe before Jesus Christ, people were using technology but not digital. They were kind of inventing things, especially in the pre-historical moment. People were using stone, they were using knife, but in order to solve problem, maybe to cut meat, maybe to kill animals. So at that time, they were using technology, but in their ways of technology. And nowadays, with electrical thing, with Thomas Edison discoveries, we got a new way of to see technology. Now we got like AI thing, we got a digital technology, we got a smartphone, like you say. Now it's kind of shape the way nowadays that we see technology at the rather than the past time.
yeah. That's great. That's great. And you talked about the era before Jesus Christ and maybe after Jesus Christ, BCE and AC or something like that. That's wonderful. And you, as at the closing, you talk about Thomas Edison's make us view technology in a different way, right? So, do you think that this is an open question? Do you think that electricity is a digital technology or a non-digital technology?
No, we're not digital technology. We're
Okay.
not. Do you think we're just pointing the fact that
Yeah,
the thing have been changing with the time?
for sure.
So the technology, while it being revolutionized with the time.
Yeah,
So now with digital, we talk most of the time we take digital like a technology
yeah,
because that is the time. The only point about technology is about to solve problems.
exactly. Yeah,
Since we're going to solve a problem, we use digital ways. So that is only different.
absolutely. That's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So basically, I guess this that's enough to summarize this point. So, like I think like digital technologies really like started to become a thing of the computer era, right? And what is that era? maybe 1930, but it really become started to become real with transistor, and transistor started to like appear around 1950. I forgot about the exact date, but basically like taking electricity and like finding a way to switch things off and on, and then from those switching on and off, trying to find a way to like I don't know, perform action or plan processes inside the system, right? To command or control stuff based on like those switch on switch off things. I think that was the beginning of the digital era around something around like 50s or something, right? Otherwise, before that, every other things we had was non-digital technology, and even after that, we have now you can say it's mixed. For example, maybe someone would say, okay, the car is not digital, even our modern car, most of our modern car, maybe not here, but most of the modern car are somewhat hybrid, right? Hybrids, it's both digital and non-digital. But someone may say, okay, like the robot that built the car was somewhat controlled by a computer, and that computer is a digital, right?
Okay.
Would you like to say something, Mr. Cc? Okay, okay. So the robot that built I mean, during the manufacturing processes of the car, maybe the car itself is not digital, but the equipment, the resources that went into building the car was some of them even or a big part of them is digital. So maybe you can say, okay, car now is hybrid, right? It's depend on how you view it, but I think we have now digital and non-digital technologies, and sometimes it's hard to make differences. But like anything that is not completely like internet based or all the other stuff based is like the radio, the screen. Yes, exactly, right. So all those stuff are like yes, inside the computer, inside the car, right? The radio and the screen are digital, but multiple other stuff are digital inside the car, right? You have the GPS, you have now the modern car, you have the control unit of the gas level, the speed of the car, even I don't know, there are multiple other processes embedded inside the car
Exactly.
that are digital. But today is like we live in a very very modern and very complex world that it's really hard to make differences on things or about things because everything is kind of married together, right? So, but anyway, it's we are surrounded by the multiple non-digital technologies, and digital is not the only technology. It is the most dominant one, right? But not the only one. Okay, so now talk about digital technology. By the way, before I went too deep into this discussion, for example, this big machine you can see here, like huge machine. There is a logo behind ASML. Do you know ASML? Anyone here have ever heard of ASML?
Not me, for being honest.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Sisi?
Repeat again.
Have you ever heard of a company called ASML?
Nope, never virtually.
Okay, okay. So this huge machine, ASML is there is it's a great industrial company. They build the machine that builds machine, right? It's not just robots. They built really, really complicated machines, right? Machine like ultraviolet lithography machine that is used to create your computer processor, right? Or all the wafer. I mean, you know wafer, right? The processor, we take transistor and then we make wafer, and from the wafer now you get computer chip, right? Or all the digital stuff, right? So they are huge machine, very complex machine that are used to build those our digital stuff or those computer chip and computer component, electronic component of the computer. So this company, I think it's maybe a UK company, but it's a European company, and they are probably the only company that can build those type of machine that is used to build complex machine. So this is their specialty. So they build really, really complex machines. Even they build machines for Tesla, right? Tesla used to use some type of very complex machine that's build big compartments of car, right? And they are the only company that can build that. So, for example, in a year, they can only produce tens of those machines worldwide, and all the other big industrial company will order it. They will compete to get like the next 10 machine that will be like manufactured this year to boost the processes. So that's it. So this is ASML, and from ASML, building machine, that's build machine to this. So this is the wafer. Basically, like each square you see on the screen is like a computer chip, right? A processor, right? So inside the processor, you have transistor and all those basic stuff inside the computer. So basically, the machine that is used to build this wafer, so ASML, they build those machines, right? So from like physical huge machine to like smaller components, that is the, I don't know, like the, you can say the mother, or I don't know, the engine of the digital worlds are also like come from huge and very complicated machines. So this is digital tech. This is digital technologies. So for example, the machine that Hiroshima built, they sell it to, as I said, to big industrial companies. For example, TSMC. I guess everyone at least have heard of TSMC, right? TSMC.
Repeat GSSNG or
TSMC.
TSME. Even that I haven't
Okay,
information
but
about.
when you know what is a wafer? Do you know what is a wafer? Maybe you get.
With maybe I will try to translate the word in French.
Okay.
Like that. I know.
Okay.
What does it mean in French?
Okay, unfortunately, I learned it in English. I don't even know if there is an equivalent in French, but it just une
Wafer.
sorte de plaquette sur laquelle on utilise pour fabriquer les processeurs des ordinateurs, côté industriel.
Yeah, I think I have an idea about this.
Yeah. So basically,
And the car,
yeah, go ahead.
is it the car in which you are going to implant the processor?
No, it's not the car. It is kind of like this. I mean, it's kind of like a circle, right? It's kind of a disc type of like much like a dish, right? This one. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
my mouse. So this is
yeah,
basically a wafer. So all the small scale are like a computer chip, right? A chip, I mean, your processor, central processing unit, or maybe a graphic
yeah,
processing unit. So
yeah.
for the manufacturer of these components, they use wafer technology to create those processor together, and then yes, now I don't know, build the heart of a computer or all our digital stuff. So basically, to also build those wafer, it take to create those wafer, it take machines like this, right? These huge machines, they are really really huge. And TSMC is
Yeah.
a Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company. So it is the only, or I would say the most dominant company that creates or build over 60% of computer chip worldwide. So anywhere you have probably a computer, maybe your iPhone, your Lenovo, your Apple computer, your whatever, probably the chip inside, I mean the processor, the central processing unit inside, or the graphic chips inside are probably like built by them, right? The NVIDIA or the Intel, I mean, and AMD stuff, all they just design like the processor, but it is the company like TSMC that create the physical device. So, okay, anyway, maybe this
Yeah.
is a little bit complicated, but I think it is also
No,
interesting to know.
I totally understand. It's like they are creating the electronic device, like
Yes. I don't know if you ever heard of the tension between the Chinese and the American, and sometimes you will hear Taiwan, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's
I know this
yes,
country.
that's why. It's only because of TSMC, because TSMC produce more than 60% of the world's chips, computer chips, right? So they are the most powerful, most dominant company in Taiwan, and Taiwan happen to be near China, but all the
Yeah, yeah,
US electronic stuff come from there, or at least a big part of it. So like that, most of the time you have geopolitical tension between China and America because of that. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I think we all know digital technology. So maybe we'll close by the future of technology, and what is your view, or maybe your hope? Maybe if Mr. Kone was here, both your view and your hope of the future of technology in general.
Just but for me, I think it's just something you have to be careful about because nowadays it's something like with the I don't know the power, the technology. Now the thing that we got now at the hand, we can in the same time like create a good life, but at the same time we can destroy life with it. It's so easily. It is something nowadays the worldwide war is it might come to happen. This is something gonna make a huge damage, more than the Nagasaki damage because nowadays we got weapon, we can do just and the one launching we can do hundred dead in the same time. There's some like the philosophical way of saying the science without consciousness is only about to make our world more cruel, more kind of not a good thing. Just the last point to use the technology side with the mind, with the conscious, to not almost hurt ourselves.
All right, all right. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Mr. Cisse, for this wonderful point. Now, Alassane, your view on the future of technology and your, I don't know, your wish or your hope, or maybe your action also. It's dependent.
Yeah, for me, I think the technology will always be improved. It will all the time the tools will be emerged. So we cannot do anything to prevent that. But even if there are some bad sides, but about those bad sides, maybe we can try to fix some restriction about them by the dialogue or by the rules. And if those rules cannot be respected, maybe we can try also to make again some tools by the technology against some bad tools also. For example, I mean, if we say the bomb, the nuclear bomb, why not to try to create some system that can absorb the wave of the bomb if a bomb is launched? Why not to create a system that can absorb the wave of the bomb and to cancel it, like a mean of protection? I think it is possible by the technology. I think everything is possible by the technology. We can just try to make some research and try to create. Anyway, the technology even will always improve. It will always be go up. So that's my idea about it.
That's really wonderful, Mr. Alassane. That's really wonderful. For example, when you said like anything bad technology create, we can also have like something good that technology can also create to counter that bad thing. For example, you say for the nuclear bomb, you can have something to counter it. I think there are. I would not go far, but at least for cruise missions, I mean international ballistic missile, maybe not necessarily nuclear weapon. We have interceptor, right? Another missiles that allow you to counter those missiles. I think everyone saw that during Israel and Iran war, right? All the time, Iranian were sending missiles, ballistic missiles, right? I mean, not ballistic, right? Cruise missiles from Iran to through Israel, right? But they also had the, I don't know, like the Iron Domes and all the other the Arrow, right? It's basically like they created an artificial dome around the city that any incoming missiles, there is another like system on ground that will also launch all the missiles to counter that incoming missile before it hits the ground, and it will destroy the missiles and no damage will happen to the ground. And also, there was also a fun story when ChatGPT came around. People started to say, okay, especially for teacher, they said, okay, my student will going to cheat with ChatGPT. So out of the blue, or you have another nerds or like smart genius that came up with other language model that's also process like text generated by language model and then identify if it is generated or not generated. So you have a chira, right, or something like this, right? So all the time you have like a bad technology come around, you will have a good technology that another technology that uh, will come to mitigate those issues. So I think technology is the ultimate problem solver. It's all the problem it creates, it can also solve them, and this is universal. Anywhere you have a technology that do bad things or that we call quote unquote bad things, you have or you can also have another technology that will counter that bad thing. And also I want to add some additional point. Maybe I think most of the time you will it will take most people very long time to realize this, but I think if you stop viewing the world as good or bad, but as real or maybe as normal. This is how things work, and you don't need to worry too much about it. Maybe you can have your belief system, your wish, and all those things, but when you come down to the real world, stop thinking about it as good or bad. I think if you start to adopt this mindset, it will lead you far and it will also help you to handle a lot of situations because the world doesn't care about what is good or bad. We individual or group of individual or society or country or belief system, for example, religion may say something is good or bad, but in reality, it doesn't really matter if something is good or bad. Sometimes what matters is does it work or not, right? For example, the missile we said, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Does it work or not? That's what matters. And for fighting for what's good or bad, that's what gave us all the social tension, even the religious world, right? When you look at in the issue, even nowadays, even for our country here, right? One of the biggest reasons for our war is why? It's what? Religious war, right? At least that's what they say, right? Even if it's not true, but at least that's what they say. And if you look at in the past, most of the time, most of the war that happened were also religious war, right? Europe versus the Arabic world, and Christian versus the Muslim, and the Jews, and all the other stuff, right? Because everyone think that what me I'm doing is the good, but what you're doing is bad, and you should change it. And that's why you have war, right? Most of the time, war happens for that. Maybe war happened because you have someone has a better thing, for example, more money or better land, and the other country or other empire would like to come to take that away from it or to impose some, I don't know, influence. But most of the time, it is because what you are doing is good and what is bad. What me I'm doing is good. You should stop doing yours and do it my way, right? And that's like the sources of most of the world. So when if we start to stop thinking about the world this way, I think maybe we will probably have a better world. And beside that, I think for technology, as I said, technology is the ultimate problem solver. We're always going to have problem even if we have AI and robots everywhere doing things for us. There will always be problem to solve, and we will always need or have technology that solve them. And as we are also young, I think that's also most of the time what young people make as mistake. But we are, maybe I would say, lucky, or if that's fair to say, to be not only young but also like technical minded people that happen to view things objectively and try to understand them rather than feeling about it or wishing on it. And I think this is a helpful way to view the world. And I think for us young people, we should start to stop thinking about technology as good or bad. We should start to think about it, stop thinking about it as good or bad, and start thinking about it as, does it work or it doesn't work? For electricity, do you think it's electricity? Like, have you ever touched electricity? I'm from electrical engineering background. Like, if like some few volts can kill you, right? So I think it's not good when you look at the bad it can do, but also look at the other side. Does it work or not? We have lights, we have computer, we have all those digital things. Without electricity, maybe we don't have like a modern life today, right? We don't have internet, we don't have nothing, we don't have machine basically, right? As Malian, we can prove that, right, with our electricity shortages. So I think start seeing technology as not good or bad, but does it work or not, or does it solve my problem? And anytime you hear about a new technology, for example, the AI, stop thinking about AI as they will replace us. Start thinking about it. Okay, this is the most at least powerful or the most wonderful or the most fascinating technology that human being has ever created in the past. So what me nowadays can I do with it? What can I do with it, or how it can help me, and stop thinking about it as it will like replace us or something like that. And same thing for all the other technology. For example, let's say in the future someone come up with the solution to like improve our lifespan. I mean, from for longevity. And let's say there is a pill, like, I mean, a medicine, a drug that you should take so that in order for you to live, instead of 50 or 60, you can live up to 100 or 150. Would you say, okay, this is not good because it's a drug or it will do that to you or not? I think this is probably not a helpful way to look at it. Maybe you should say, okay, if I took it, would I really live long as it say? If yes, why not? And same thing for other technology. Let's say someone come up with a computer chip that will implant in your brain and it will augment your thinking ability, your computational ability. For sure, it's already happening. Neuralink is a thing, right? Would you say, okay, this is going to transform human nature? It will make us robots or half human, half machine, and you should not do it. It's bad. I think that's not a helpful way to look at it, because at those moments probably you will already have like superhuman intelligence machine. So maybe it will be helpful if you can also have superhuman capability inside your brain to help you live a better life. So same thing, for example, for the crypto or like Bitcoin, for example, most people say it's bad, used by terrorists or whatever, right? But isn't it helpful? Doesn't it solve the problem it's trying to solve? It does. If it does, why not use it? Definitely, you should use it. So, as young people, we should start viewing technology as helpful and as problem solver, as solution to our problem. And anytime you see a new technology, be really curious about it. Go into it. Try to see if it can help you. Maybe this will make you richer, powerful, and maybe help you also to help other people around you. And this is basically what life is about. Life is not about good or bad. It's about like having a better life, and better mean everything. It means bad and good combined together. So that's how I feel. I see it, and technology will, as Alassane said, will continue to grow. It didn't start today and started today, and it's not going to stop today also. So that's how I say it. So, all right. So, I guess you guys are really wonderful and courageous, and spending all this time listening to all this weird talk, and it's really great. And I think if you have a final word, and otherwise we will stop here and wish you a great night and see you next time. This video I will record them and publish on YouTube if you want to watch it later. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. After we'll make a scene again if you would like to maybe to clarify some points.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Honestly, it was really interesting.
Okay.
Mainly your part with Mahamadou.
Absolutely. Yes. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So see you next time. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.